It's been a while since I last played regularly or made any videos, so there are a lot of changes to cover. Strap in and let's get going. I'm Professor Cunningham, and this is Pokétutorials. The first thing you'll notice about the updated gyms is that they look totally different from the original ones. They're much more elaborate, and the Pokémon take turns being visible on the top instead of just having one up there all the time. Now, if you look close, you'll see a heart shape near the gyms belonging to your own team. This indicates the gym's total motivation, which I'll be referring to from now on as the gym's health. The health of a gym is determined by the motivation, or, again, health, of the Pokémon inside, and this brings us to the first big difference between the updated gyms and the originals. With the original gyms, you raised or lowered the level of the gym by defeating the Pokémon within. To get rid of enemy Pokémon, you had to lower the gym's level sufficiently to kick it out. Now the gyms hold 6 Pokémon regardless, and each Pokémon can be ejected by defeating it multiple times until its motivation reaches 0. The battles themselves, unfortunately, haven't really changed. You still only have the option to regular attack, charge attack, and dodge. It isn't a particularly dynamic or interesting combat system, but it's familiar. Most of you will just end up spamming attacks the whole time, but I am going to recommend at least trying to dodge the enemy's charge attacks. As usual, the battle continues until one or the other Pokémon has died. Fainted. Whatever. When you defeat an enemy Pokémon, notice that its motivation and its combat power are both lowered, making it easier to defeat the next time. Don't let that scare you out of placing Pokémon in gyms, though. The effect isn't permanent, and the Pokémon does regain its original CP if it's kicked out of the gym. You get a few seconds to rest between each round, but you're not allowed to change Pokémon during this time, which I feel is a mistake, but nobody asked me. As usual, the battles continue until either you or your opponent runs out of Pokémon, or until you give up. Additionally, defending your own team's gym has gotten a heck of a lot easier. Instead of attacking your own Pokémon to try to earn prestige faster than your opponent removes it, you can heal individual Pokémon by feeding it berries. This restores both motivation and combat power. This arrangement creates a really interesting dynamic between attacker and defender. First off, it's much faster to use an item than it is to defeat a Pokémon, giving the defenders an advantage. Also, there's no cooldown between a Pokémon being defeated and another one being put in. Finally, berries are much more common than the potions and revives that attackers must use to sustain an extended assault. All of this adds up to a system where defenders are heavily favored if they are actively present and healing, but an unattended gym can be taken fairly easily if you can get past the first few fights. As a note, max revives and max potions are now available in the store for coins, so if you have the cash money, you'll be able to keep attacking gyms as often as you like. This is a feature players have been asking for since the beta, and with the new gyms, I imagine it's going to make Niantic a lot of money. Unfortunately, there are a couple of aspects of gym fighting that are exactly the same as they've always been. Lag issues still abound, with consequences ranging from being unable to dodge attacks, to Pokémon seeming to switch in and out multiple times when swapping, to being kicked out of gyms entirely between fights, to whatever the hell is happening to the health bars in this fight. I have personally tested gyms in areas both heavily and lightly populated during both peak and off hours with strong and weak signal, and have encountered issues with depressing consistency. Hey Niantic and Pokémon Company, the new gyms are great and all, but they won't win you the love of your users if they're just as broken as the old ones. Just saying. Anyway, this was a surface look at the new gyms. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for future videos. It's good to be back. Have fun, and be careful out there.